Sorry, guys. I'm trying to turn off the live that's going on now, but it doesn't show that it's live. Ugh, I had a long week, and yes, I'm still in bed. Oh, you can hear my cats playing in the background. But I got a message that I was going live, and it even had a little like thumbnail that I used for a previous video. And I actually saw it on my queue, and I was like, "That's weird," but I didn't think anything was gonna happen. Oh my gosh! So anyway, I'm actually trying to turn it off, and so I don't know how to do that. Elizabeth said there's like a little calendar, but the calendar that I saw I couldn't click on. So let me see. Um, I don't know why I'm having so many issues with my tech these days. I never thought of myself as someone who was technically challenged. What is? Oh, no, no, no. Oh my God, I got a green screen. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to turn it off. I don't really think. Oh, I turned that off. So, hmm. Let me see. Well, I suppose I could take this opportunity to talk about something about symbolism. So I wanted to talk about this a while back, and then I joined live, and then I had this weird guy in the chat, and I kind of got distracted. Um, and So, what I wanted to say back then is that for those of you who are trying to read tarot and might be a little intimidated by it, or just starting to read tarot, or even, comfortable in a tarot practice, there's, of course, many different ways to read tarot and interpret the messages that are coming through. Of course, you can use the prescribed card meanings, but the way that we as humans interpret our world, like uh, biologically, physiologically, we try to make sense. Our brain tries to make sense out of what is happening. And if it can't make sense, it puts a filler in there. It says, okay, this is what it is, and it may not be that way. It can it's probably what your brain has experienced before, and so it may not be what the reality is. Like, you know how they say that 10 people can witness an accident, and there's going to be 10 different stories, right? And then there's going to be, the truth, what actually happened. And the reason why is because there's 10 different brains interpreting that particular situation, and 10 different brains have gone through many different situations in their lives, and their experience is colored by their past experience. Their observation is going to be colored by the past observation. And so, how that comes around to reading and interpreting tarot, and any other thing for that matter, is that our brains have gone through a unique experience, and it culminates our entire life, and our brain will try to make sense of our environment based on all of that culmination. So when we use our divinatory tool, or divination tools, when we experience things where we're talking to spirit, or talking with ancestors, talking with nature, talking with the universe, talking with the moon, I talk with the moon very often, is that will we will use the information that we have, the experiences that we have, to come about an answer, right? And that's not to say that other people are not connected into, I would say, the overall vibe, right? There's an overall vibe of of earth. There's an overall vibe of life in general. And some people have the awesome ability to tap into that vibe, to feel what is going on. I feel it when I read tarot for other people. I actually get hot. I think I tap into that frequency, and I get a little hot, right? And so, and it just happens. It just happens, and it happens more so when people are in front of me. But I can also feel that energy frequency coming through as I'm reading tarot, as I'm divining. I can also feel it sometimes outside when I guess I can tap in. I can tap into the trees. I can tap into the wind. So and I feel like that is actually a muscle, so to speak. I say that with quotation marks. I feel that that can be enhanced, that can be trained if you work with it. So with people who might not necessarily be able to do that right away, like you start reading tarot and you just see pictures on cards and you're not exactly sure what they mean and there isn't a message coming through, continue with it. Try to put your own meaning to the cards. See if you can get something out of the colors, out of the scenery that's going on. Maybe even study the cards a little bit, right? Try to understand what the cards mean in general. With the Rider-Waite Smith, the cards all have a specific meaning. Rider-Waite Smith deck is from the Golden Dawn, and they felt that the tarot was heavily influenced by astrology. So every single one of those cards has an astrological meaning tied to it, which is why we have the Three of Swords, that means heartbreak. Um, and so when you see the heartbreak card, it's actually a planet within a it's called a deacon, but it's a planet within a particular sign. And so I can't remember what the Three of Swords means, what planet that is. I want to say it's Saturn. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know those. And actually I have an issue with the Three of Swords being heartbreak. For me, three is a feeling of three is a number of creation, right? It's number one and two coming together and creating something. And so that's what the three is. Three is that creation. Three is the yin and the yang, working together to create something beautiful, to create something of their own, of both of them, right? And so when I see three of swords as heartbreak, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Because first of all, swords is mind, right? Swords is the air energy. Swords is what you think, how you process information. So when I read the Three of Swords, it is something. It is I don't read it. I try not to read it as heartbreak, but sometimes it does come through as heartbreak or maybe some sort of situation. And so, in this instance, I would have to see what the other cards around it are saying. And not only that, I also kind of, like I said, what the brain does to fill things in, the brain either, it's my mechanics within my brain and my experiences, or I'm tapped into that frequency of, life, universe, the trees, whatever, the ancestors. So, so it is your tarot practice, your divination practice is your own. You bring something unique to it because of who you are, the energy that you carry, the experiences that you have gone through, the connections that you have. So, so it's important that you practice. Number one, that's why it's called a tarot practice, I guess. Same thing, doctors practice medicine, right? So it's important that you practice and you get your symbolism um, straight, correct, and you know what things mean to you. And that's not to say that you don't have to read directly what Rider Waite says, right? You can read whatever whatever you want. Um, Also, the Thoth deck, right? Thoth is also from Golden Dawn, but they have a few of the cards have different meanings. They changed the names of some of the majors. Also, I'm just actually starting to work with the Thoth deck. It's always been intimidating to me for some reason, but I'm actually drawn to it a little bit, and I've been grabbing it a little bit more and using it. So, oh, there's some chatting going on. Joe Dirt. Oh, Joe Dirt is a dork. And why is he in my life if he's being mean? What a weirdo. Oh, gosh. I guess he's bored, which is fine, entertainment. YouTube is entertainment. That's pretty cool. Um, And with people that are like that, their experiences are different. So you can't actually be mad at them for being mean. Perhaps they go through experiences in life where they have done something and they were laughed at for being different or not how the crowd around them is or was being. And so that's how they learn to approach things that are different is to make fun of it, to be rude, to be mean. So you can't really be mad at somebody who acts like that, right? And so I'm not mad at you, Joe Dirt. um, Actually, I've seen that movie. Dana Carvey, I think, is who it is. It was a pretty funny movie. So, I mean, I'm sure you have a sense of humor in there somewhere. So, that's cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, Marla. That's cool. Oh, poor Joe. I'm not bothered by you, honey bun. I used you as an example. Okay, so back to my little spiel, I guess you could say. Um, So, for those of you who are wanting to read tarot, who are wanting to start a tarot practice, don't be intimidated by not knowing the card meanings. Just pull the meanings out. You don't even need to start with an actual tarot. You can start with any kind of deck. Cards are read with playing cards. You know the diamonds, the spades, the clubs. People can divine out of that. And if you can see any kind of pattern, let your brain work. Let your brain put a pattern together. What do sevens mean to you? When you see seven diamonds, what does that mean to you? Ascribe a meaning, subscribe a meaning to that. If you want to see a more scenic deck, of course, you can use tarot, you can use oracle cards. The Rider Waite is the hot thing right now. Um, and you don't even have to read it the way they do. I read a lot of intuitively with the Rider Waite Smith. I don't really follow the deacons. I don't really follow the all of the meanings. And but I try, especially when I buy a deck from Kickstarter or something, and the creator puts a certain meaning towards a card and tries to convey a certain message. um I'll honor that. I'll read through the deck, but for the most part, I do a lot of my own intuitive reading, putting colors together, putting scenes together, looking at the flow of the cards. How does the card in the front, back, top, bottom speak to the card around it, and what energies are flowing through all of that? So, and I could get an even more deeper discussion on this, and that is because our brains try to fill in these gaps. Is it even, is it even true, right? And that's where my brain sometimes goes. Professionally, I am an accountant, right? And so I'm a numbers person. It's very logical for me. It's a very, of course, it's either wrong or right. And so mixing something like tarot and astrology with my, Pentacles life is something, it can be very, very difficult for me, because I'm like, okay, is that even logical? But at the same time, I just know things. Like, I just have a feeling about certain things and they're correct, right? Even my brother and I, we were born on the same day, 2 years apart. We have the exact same birthday. And sometimes we have this like telekinesis thing going on, which is kind of cool. And quite often, I'll be thinking about somebody and they'll be on my mind off and on, and then that person will call me. I'm like, oh my god, I've been thinking about you. Oh really? I've been thinking about you too. And so it's like we get on the same wavelength. Oh, Marla's in accounting too, but taking psychology classes to get away. Oh, I see. Oh, Gregory Scott Tarot. I just got that. I'll have to check that out. I'll check that out, Marla. um And so, yeah, so, being a numbers person and being so logical and going to something like tarot and divination is a pretty big, jump. Um, but I think I do have like that right brain situation going on, where right brain, left brain, where both of them need to be stimulated. If I find that I'm not reading tarot enough, or if I'm not pulling it out, and if I'm not doing, the things at my altar, if I don't get out in nature, I feel imbalanced, right? And then, of course, if I'm doing way, way too much of that, I'm like, oh gosh, I get frustrated. I'm like, is this even real? And so I think I just really I need that balance. I am a Libra sun, so I think there does need to be a balance of things in my life. Okay, well, that was my very impromptu live. And there is another live that's happening, I think, and I need to turn that off. But maybe that's gonna coincide with this one, I don't know. So the thumbnail for that live is like a green lady in a green jungle, which it was a Virgo live that I did not too long ago. So I don't really know how that live got put out there. It was, I saw that it was scheduled, or I saw something there, but I was like, "Oh," I paid no attention to it, but yes. Anyway. Thanks for hanging out, Marla, and anybody else who came in. Thank you, Joe Dirt, for your nice little example that we were able to speak about. So, I appreciate all y'all who are hanging out in my channel. I am, oh. So, one of the things that I wanted to institute was, oh, peace. Yes, have a great day. One of the things that I'm going to start doing is doing extended readings and putting them on my Buy Me a Coffee channel. And I'll still do the free tarot readings here, but then I'll do an extended reading, which will go a little bit deeper, and have that be a paid subscription. I don't want to monetize my channel because I don't want all those ads popping up. I heard that if you monetize your channel, and you do a live, you get a lot, a, what is that called? An ad right in the middle of your live, and that's not even cool. So I thought that a good way to reciprocate energies would be to add an extended, if you wanted to. Of course, you don't have to add that as an added benefit. So okay, y'all have a wonderful Saturday. I am gonna get out of bed. I had a really tough week. I'm trying to hire a clerk, and it's been really slow going. So I'm overloaded in work, and not only am I overloaded and tired and about to get out of bed, I have to work this weekend as well, just to be caught up for next week. So, everyone take care, and I will see y'all later. Bye.